So a lot is taking place right now. Let's check on army sizes and specifically force limit because, there are still wars that are going on. So, the numbers might be a little bit skewed, I guess. So we've got Texas obviously at number 1 with a force limit of 62. They only have 35,000 of that though. Independent nation plus 6 from 34 provinces. That's an awesome tooltip. That is kind of a newer addition, isn't it? But look at this, 0 manpower. That's kind of interesting. We'll see what happens with that a little bit later. Castile, slightly weaker than Texas, so I don't know if the Europeans would have that good of a time invading North America anymore. Next up, we've got New South Wales with 43 force limit, 37,000 though, currently in their military, and they're only going to grow bigger and bigger. New South Wales is going to be such an interesting spot because they can do so much now in the Pacific. I'm curious to see if they'll attack Indonesia or kind of the Indonesian islands, or, who knows, because Europeans will definitely colonize this region. That will be fun to look out for. Mississippi, obviously, in the 3rd place spot, which seems to be kind of a recurring theme. Texas, New South Wales, and Mississippi in the top 3 right now. Indiana, next up, and then it's New York. Now, here's the issue that we're starting to see. Rhode Island and Pennsylvania finishing out. It's kind of the top 6 or 7 or whatever. Issue that we're kind of starting to see. There's only 2 regions that really can stand up to Texas and Mississippi at the moment, and that is Mexico, which I've definitely underestimated, but I remember saying, like, in the beginning of the series, like, hey, watch out for Mexico. Mexico's going to be pretty cool, because I knew this region is typically well-developed, then even if it's random developed. But yeah, this region's in a good situation, and Guanajuato has a lot of development under their belts, and they've got some good alliances too. Texas has already shown that they desire part of Guanajuato, so this might be an interesting final stand for at least the South in terms of North America. The East Coast, on the other hand, is in a tougher situation because there are a lot of medium-sized powers here that aren't all allied to each other. They don't necessarily all like each other. Brunswick, I mean, it's still kind of complicated. So this region is going to need to do something. I think what's going to happen, though, is Mississippi's going to drag themselves into a dumb war. Mississippi, obviously not as powerful as Texas. I think that they're going to get themselves involved into a dumb war and that they'll start to slowly break down their alliances. Or Texas and Mississippi will go at it themselves. Do they have any sort of mutual enemies? Not mutual. Is there an ally that one has that the other has an enemy as an enemy? I don't think so. Virginia might be kind of interesting, but Texas is still too far away to be able to attack Virginia, since Mississippi is allied to Virginia. Or, okay, they both allied to Oklahoma. There are regions here. Yeah, so I think it's very unlikely that we see a Texas-Mississippi war anytime soon. However, like I said, Mississippi might declare an offensive war that Texas will not back, and that will get them into a tough situation. This is what I think with Florida. Mississippi will invade Florida, and then it will be Indiana's job to get the job done and go on and invade. And Florida's in a pretty good situation in terms of force limit, or I guess military size, 17,000, not bad. With Indiana's 31,000, they'll have a pretty good chance of winning, possibly. North Carolina is also another good opportunity where Mississippi might be able to break down the alliances. Well, they don't want to attack North Carolina because they're allied to Missouri. Mississippi's also allied to Missouri, so that might not happen. Or Indiana will just go after them. All I think Mississippi is the Achilles heel, the heel of this Southern Alliance. I would say it's the Achilles heel at this point. That's probably not the best metaphor I could be using right now, because Mississippi is definitely not a heel. It's like a big buff-ass arm at this point here. But yeah, it's the Achilles buff-ass arm that might be able to get taken down here. I don't know. Anyways, so British Columbia is at war with Washington, Montana, and a little piece of California. Let's not forget that California still exists technically, although I'm assuming that Sonora might decide to go to war with them soon. This truce is actually up. Oh, Nevada's at war with California. Okay, so Nevada and California going back at it. Is that a separate war? No, they're the same wars. So this will be a good opportunity of maybe Nevada getting a little bit more power, although ultimately it's not gonna save them. There's really nothing here anymore. There is a chance if Alaska continued to expand into Canada and a little bit into the northern part of the U.S., that maybe Alaska could stand up to Texas, but they got pushed back. They allied to somebody that actually wasn't a bad... I'm not going to knock them for the alliance with Quebec. Like, that was a smart move, because Quebec was looking real good here. I don't know how New Brunswick just became so powerful. Ooh. Oh, man. So this will be interesting. Ontario, New Brunswick versus Nova Scotia and New York. It will be just New York and Nova Scotia. Rhode Island's not involved, and I actually have a lot of hope for Rhode Island. I think Rhode Island is the interesting situation here. Okay, so Ontario's going to win that. This looks like... Ooh, Nova Scotia is going to be the tough part, though. New Brunswick with 16,000. Who is this? New York's that's getting pushed back. The problem is that these two armies are going to consolidate. Well, here comes Ontario. I'm guessing this was New Brunswick declaring for Nova Scotia. I'm assuming. There's also another war going on here back in South Dakota. Is that... Yeah, South Dakota versus Montana. All right. Montana calling their allies, though. So that's going to be giving them some trouble. Nevada's at negative 18 war score so far? That's weird. They still might take something from California, though. New Brunswick versus... Yeah, New Brunswick just wanted Nova Scotia. That's why these other two got involved. All right, so I think they're gonna try to get New York out of the game first, out of this conflict first, which is obviously a smart choice. Ooh, uh-oh. Ooh, yeah. See, this is bad. This is what I'm saying. The East continues to fight with itself. Now Rhode Island decided to go after New Brunswick. Oh man, what are you doing? I don't think they realize what's happening down this way. Whoa. Oh. I was like, what, did Pennsylvania just change colors? But they did. They did change colors. So, yeah, I was kind of right about that. California's going to lose this one. They're going to get pushed back. What's Nevada at in terms of war score? Plus 27. Not the best, but they're still going to get some stuff from this. And then, yeah, kind of some stuff happening because of Montana. Montana being very smart. Even though they were small, they kept those alliances. And they're going to make this really tough for South Dakota. They might lose a lot here, actually. Let's go up to speed 5. And let's keep in mind some of these. Ooh, whoa. Indiana just pieced out with who? That was from Minnesota, right? Indiana continuing to expand. And if they continue to kind of feed Iowa, too, that's the key. Feed Iowa. Hold on to Pennsylvania. Since this whole region is just a big mess. Like, this whole region is just, like, gonna fight with itself. Maybe... This is the Midwest, right? This is technically the Midwest. Maybe the Midwest could do something. The Appalachian Mountains, right? I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm Californian, so you know we're kind of stupid. You guys know that. You guys totally know that. In terms of other parts of the country, I don't mean to talk about all California. You know what? I'll just take the blame there for myself. I'll just say that it's just me. It's just me. But yeah, Appalachian Mountains somewhere around here. I do think that is that. I believe this is the Midwest region, right? How's Nevada doing now in terms of war score? 71. There you go. So Nevada's going to do really well here. Oh, they've already pieced out with California at least. And they'll be pretty successful over Washington and Montana. Is Alaska allied to anybody anymore? No. Oh, Alaska's destined to fall. I mean, Jefferson's not going to help them. And yeah, I mean, these countries, Rhode Island and New York, doing really well. I think, now wait a second, Rhode Island has the opportunity, I think, of forming New England very soon. All right, well, New York just pieced out, Nova Scotia just pieced out. Rhode Island's kind of screwed now, unless they take, actually, no, they're not. They could take coastal provinces, just like they did with New York. I hate the border gore, man. I hate that border gore. I love you, Rhode Island. You're just as big of an underdog, in my eyes, as Wyoming is. Oh, but now you got to fight everyone yourself. Where is the Rhode Island army? Oh, you are... Oh, there you are. Oh, you're okay. Yeah, you look like you'll be okay. You did jump into that by yourself, which was probably not the best of decisions. Let's see, who's Wyoming fighting? Okay, so, oh, wait, well, oh, that happened. Yep, that's exactly what I thought. Well, actually, I don't know how. Oh, you're so screwed. You guys are so screwed. Why did you, who called this war? Oh, you're in a dual war. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's what happened. Mississippi attacked Florida. They called in Indiana. Mississippi was able to get Texas involved, too. Yeah, that's not good. Rhode Island's only at 9 war score. Mississippi, there it is right there. Declaring on Florida. Mississippi managed to call in Oklahoma and Texas. Well, Oklahoma's not going to do much, but yeah. And then you did it at a perfect time where Indiana was fighting Ontario. Oh, geez, so smart. So smart. I got to give it to the Southern Alliance, man. Oh, Sonora's going after them now. That's exactly what I figured. Sonora has a good opportunity. But look at Guanajito. Okay, wait a second. Look at this. This Texas Alliance member, Cholula, I think, they were declared on, or it might have been an offensive war, I don't know, but Guanajito and Sonora grabbed a ton away. Texas did not back them up. Now, that could have been an offensive war that Cholula just got himself involved in. That was stupid. Or Texas didn't. Actually, no, they wouldn't have the alliance. It must have been a stupid offensive war. Either way, Mexico, I think Mexico is going to have to be the savior. Mexico is going to be, I think, the savior if anyone is going to stop the Deep South, because this area is still so angry with everybody. They're all still fighting each other. Indiana's going to lose so much here. Hey, look at Oklahoma. Didn't realize they grabbed an extra province from Wyoming not too long ago. And Sonora is only going to continue to grow in strength, especially if they take a bunch away from California. Oh, this is interesting. Like, because, to be honest, you know, I did somewhat neglect looking at Mexico, and that's because there's so many small provinces, and I don't think really anybody knows that region that well. I don't know too many people from Mexico that watches. But I still really enjoy the region. I did have to, you know, kind of like Australia. Australia was all the way at this part of the map, so that's kind of a different scenario. But I did kind of neglect to look into Mexico throughout this campaign. But at the end of the day, it does seem like Mexico might be the last chance for the world to stop Texas and Mississippi. A lot of people hate Texas out this way. That's the thing. Look at all this. If they could somehow all work together, though. I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to start seeing Guanajito higher and higher on the development list. But, you know, at this point, Mississippi's starting to get out of control too, which might be a good thing. You know, you don't want it to be one-sided. If there is some sort of breakage in the alliance, you don't want it to be just Texas dominating. Wow. Yeah, this is what they're facing. Rhode Island ended up not taking much here. I'm going to go up to speed 4. They took one thing away. They didn't lose anything. That was, for the most part, a pretty okay decision. Oh, Labrador's here. So we've got Newfoundland and Labrador, and then just Labrador. Cool. That's fun. That's exciting. Yeah, that's nice. North Dakota. Hey, North Dakota's back. Oh, because South Dakota got their butt kicked. That's why. And Florida's about to lose everything, which means Castile has an even more interesting position on a more great power, Mississippi, if Castile does decide to go after North America, which is, I think, unlikely at this stage in the game. But, you know, in a few decades, maybe. In a few decades, we could see something like that happen, I think. I would say it is safe to say. Do we see anything else? Castile right now preoccupied with I think a native tribe. Indiana is still winning this war technically with Ontario with 10 war score. Oh, wait a second. Did Mississippi peace out? Yes, they did. They peaced out like right now. Ooh, and that was the province they needed right there. 32 development. So Florida still exists with still quite a bit of development nonetheless. But Mississippi looking good. Mississippi's looking real good. And Indiana's starting to get crushed. Oh, hey, they separate peace with Virginia. That's not bad. But why are they not able to push out Ontario? It's Ontario and Alberta. Oh yeah, they're done. That's the 35 stack. Unless you get lucky and just peace out, which is unlikely. Yeah, you know, they might have exhausted their resources. Pennsylvania, Indiana, and Iowa probably exhausted their resources fighting. Oh, well, let's see. This is huge. This is huge if they can win this. Yeah, they got a 2-star general. Even if they're if they're taking a crossing penalty, it's fine. There it is. Looks like Indiana is going to be safe. They might be able to escape this without losing too much, or they're going to lose a lot of manpower, that's for sure. Luckily, Indiana's not in a position where they have to feel a threat from like Texas or anything like that. Did Sonora peace out? Not yet. Yeah, no peace deal just yet there. Guanajito? How you feeling, Guanajito? You desire Texas lands. Your mission in life is to destroy Mississippi and Texas. I love it. Guanajito has risen out of the ashes to destroy the South of the U.S. at least. They are southern. They are the southern part of the Southern Alliance. But yeah. Who's this? Montana's all the way down here. Look at that. Montana with like one province at this point. Nevada still holding on until, of course, Texas decides to take them out. Yep, Indiana's making a comeback. I guarantee you, though, they don't have much manpower. So development will be something we need to check in on in the next video. Things are actually starting to heat up. Oh, see, you gotta eliminate Ontario. If that's the case, you cannot fight a southern border and a northern border. If Indiana can do enough damage to Ontario here, that would be obviously hugely successful for them. Yeah, they need to do something like that. Let's go up to speed 5. See if we can't see it, like a small peace deal here soon. How much war score are they at? January 1st, 1915, 71. I will always make that mistake. It just kind of rolls off the tongue. I've seen so many EU4 Let's Players do the same thing too. It's so easy to be like 19. Like, that's where I don't think it's my dyslexia, which is still undiagnosed officially. But but from the YouTube comment section, I have a major case of dyslexia. But that's something that I've seen most EU4 players do wrong. There it is. That's exactly what they needed. Indiana took a whole bunch away from Ontario, and they've pretty much just crushed Ontario. So now this doesn't look as bad. This does not look as bad as it once did. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Things are happening, obviously. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.